There comes a time when you hear a persistent whisper, a gentle yet insistent murmur that tugs at the edges of your consciousness. It's a call from a future self you haven't met yet, a version of you that's urging you to step beyond the familiar. For me, that whisper began in early 2025, in my quiet apartment, surrounded by things that meant little. The walls seemed to close in, filled with echoes of a life not fully lived. My routine had become a comfortable cage, a predictable cycle that offered security but stifled my spirit. I looked out the window and realized my story felt small, like a book with too many blank pages waiting to be filled. I wasn't unhappy, but I wasn't truly alive either. I was existing, not living, and that realization was a turning point. The decision to travel solo wasn't a burst of courage, but a slow realization. Only I could change my story. It was a quiet resolve that grew stronger with each passing day. Nights spent scrolling through images of distant places fueled my longing for more. Each picture was a promise of adventure, a glimpse into a world waiting to be explored. The fear was immense, a shadow that loomed large, but the desire for a life filled with moments was stronger. I knew that fear was just a signpost on the road to growth. I chose solo travel not for lack of company, but to discover if I could stand on my own. It was a test of my independence, a challenge to my self-reliance. Could I navigate a foreign city alone? Could I decipher the language of a place unfamiliar and find my way through its maze of streets? Could I find contentment in my own company? Could I learn to enjoy the silence, to find peace in solitude? It was a journey to discover the world, and myself. Each step was a lesson, each moment a revelation. So I bought a one-way ticket. It was a commitment to the unknown, a leap of faith into a future unwritten. The destination was secondary, the act was the revolution. It was about breaking free, about choosing to write my own narrative. I promised myself to be brave, to walk toward the unknown with an open heart, to embrace the uncertainty and let it guide me. The world was calling, and for the first time I was ready to listen, ready to answer with every fiber of my being, to step into the vastness and find my place within it. The night before my flight was a storm of emotions. I sat alone in my room, the world outside quiet, but inside me thoughts raced and collided. Every tick of the clock seemed to echo the uncertainty in my chest, and the silence felt heavier than ever. My backpack sat by the door, small but holding everything I thought I'd need. It looked almost insignificant, yet it contained my whole world for the next chapter of my life. I kept glancing at it, wondering if I'd packed enough, or maybe too much, and if I was truly ready for what lay ahead. Fear washed over me. Was I crazy to leave everything behind? The comfort of my bed, the familiar faces, the routines that had shaped my days. I questioned my decision over and over, my mind replaying every reason to stay, every comfort I was about to lose. Doubt screamed in my head, conjuring every worst-case scenario. What if I failed? What if I got lost or lonely or missed home so much it hurt? The unknown loomed large, and my imagination ran wild with fears I couldn't quite name. I called my mom, hoping for a reason to stay, but she simply said, "Fear is just a feeling. It can't stop you unless you let it." Her voice was calm, steady, and somehow made the world feel a little less overwhelming. She reminded me that every adventure starts with a leap, and that it's okay to be scared. I realized courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward anyway. I looked at myself in the mirror, searching for signs of bravery, and found only a person determined to try, no matter how uncertain the path. That night I barely slept, listening to the familiar sounds I was about to leave behind, the hum of the heater, the distant city noises, the creak of the floorboards. Each sound felt precious, a reminder of the life I'd built here. I ran my fingers over keepsakes on my nightstand, trying to memorize the feeling of home. There's a unique loneliness before a solo trip. You're suspended between two worlds. You're not quite gone, but not fully present either. It's a quiet ache, a sense of floating, as if you're already saying goodbye to everything you know. By morning, a strange calm settled over me. The fear was still there, but it had softened, replaced by a quiet resolve. The first rays of sunlight felt like a gentle promise that maybe, just maybe, I was ready for this. As I closed my apartment door, I felt a sense of finality. The click of the lock was more than just a sound. It was the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. I paused, taking one last look at the place that had been my sanctuary. Walking to the airport, I felt lighter than I had in years. Each step away from home was a step toward possibility, toward growth, toward the person I hoped to become. The city looked different, as if it too was wishing me well on my journey. I was leaving behind not just a place but a version of myself. The memories, the laughter, the tears, all woven into the fabric of who I was. I lingered on the threshold, letting nostalgia wash over me, grateful for everything that had brought me to this moment. I was walking toward the unknown, and for the first time, it felt like an invitation. The journey had begun, and with every breath I felt a little braver, a little more alive. The world was waiting, and I was finally ready to meet it. My first stop was Lisbon, Portugal, a city of sun, salt, and fado music. The moment I arrived, I was struck by the golden light that seemed to dance across the terracotta rooftops, and the gentle hum of trams weaving through the city's ancient streets. Lisbon felt alive, vibrant, and full of stories waiting to be discovered. But as I wandered deeper into the heart of Alfama, my confidence vanished. The city's maze of narrow cobblestone streets twisted and turned in ways no map could truly capture. I found myself spinning in circles, unsure of which way to go, the unfamiliarity both thrilling and intimidating. Panic crept in, tightening my chest, until I glanced up and saw an old woman smiling warmly from her balcony above. Her gentle wave and kind eyes seemed to say, "You're welcome here." That small gesture grounded me. It was a reminder that even in a foreign place, kindness can bridge any distance. I took a deep breath, letting the anxiety melt away. I decided to put away my phone and stop searching for directions. Instead, I let myself wander, embracing the uncertainty. Suddenly I noticed the city's vibrant colors, the painted tiles, the laundry fluttering from windows, the scent of grilled sardines drifting from open doorways, and the distant strum of a guitar. As dusk settled, I stumbled upon a tiny candlelit restaurant tucked away on a quiet street. I hesitated at the door, but then asked for a table for one, feeling a mix of nerves and excitement. As I ate, a fado singer began to perform. Her voice, raw and haunting, filled the room with emotion. The music told stories of longing and hope, echoing the city's soul and my own feelings of being lost and found. Surrounded by strangers, I felt a surprising sense of connection. The laughter, the clinking of glasses, the shared appreciation for the music, it all made me feel less alone, as if I belonged in that moment. The magic of Lisbon didn't end there. Later, a wrong turn led me to a sunlit courtyard where children played football, their shouts and laughter echoing off the old stone walls. They spotted me watching and with bright smiles invited me to join. For a while I was just another player, running and laughing, swept up in the pure joy of the game. These moments weren't in any guidebook. No itinerary could have led me to these unexpected joys, these spontaneous connections. They happened because I allowed myself to get lost, to let go of plans and simply follow my curiosity through the city's winding alleys. I learned that presence, not plans, creates the best memories. By being open to the unknown, I discovered a side of Lisbon, and of myself, I never would have found otherwise. As the sun set over Lisbon's rooftops, painting the sky in shades of pink and gold, I felt a deep sense of peace. The city had shown me that sometimes the most beautiful experiences come when you surrender control. I realized that being lost is sometimes the best way to find yourself. In the unfamiliar, I found clarity, joy, and a new sense of belonging. The city welcomed me with open arms, and in return, I welcomed the adventure, grateful for every twist and turn that led me to these unforgettable moments. Travel isn't just about places, it's about people. Alone, you're open to connection in ways you never expect. In Vietnam, an elderly woman taught me to make spring rolls. We laughed and shared photos, no words needed. In Marrakesh, a shopkeeper invited me for mint tea, not to sell but to share a moment. I learned that beneath our differences we're all so similar. We want safety, love, and a good life. Solo travel forces you to trust strangers, and in doing so, you learn to trust humanity. I shared a bus ride in Colombia with a student who showed me his country's heart. These connections don't just happen, you have to be open, to put down your phone, to smile. Every person I met left a mark on my soul, challenging my assumptions and broadening my perspective. Culture isn't just observed, it's experienced through people. From fishermen to artists, each encounter was a lesson in kindness. The world I discovered is far more generous than I ever imagined. Solo travel revealed my strength. Before I saw myself as someone who needed help, not brave or resilient. The road challenged me, missed trains, lost reservations, and waves of loneliness. I remember trekking in the Andes, altitude sickness threatening to stop me. A local guide simply said, "Poco a poco," slowly, slowly. I focused on each step, not the summit. I realized I was climbing more than a mountain. I was overcoming self-doubt. Reaching the top, I cried tears of exhaustion and pride. That moment changed me. I learned I could endure hardship, solve problems, and motivate myself. Each challenge added armor to my soul. I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. The mountains, both real and imagined, showed me who I could become. I found resilience I never knew I had. Before my journey, the world was just headlines and stereotypes. Solo travel replaced those with faces and stories. I saw the world as one interconnected family, full of resilience and beauty. I became deeply grateful for things I once took for granted. My perspective shifted. I stopped complaining and started appreciating. On the road, I was just me, free from expectations, able to experiment and trust my intuition. I learned to enjoy my own company and discovered I was a good friend to myself. Solo travel taught me that perception creates reality. If I looked for beauty, I found it everywhere. The world became a reflection of my mindset. By changing my inner world, I changed the world I experienced. I returned home with new eyes, seeing magic in the mundane. Looking back, I barely recognized the person I was before 2025. She was timid, anxious, and afraid to take risks. The road reshaped me. I am stronger, more confident, and happier. Now I have a quiet confidence, a belief I can handle whatever comes. Self-reliance seeps into every part of my life. I'm more decisive, honest, and willing to pursue my passions. Happiness isn't a destination. It's found in small, present moments. Solo travel taught me to savor the now. Most importantly, I learned to accept myself, flaws and all. I faced my fears, saw the world, and returned with gratitude. This journey was the greatest gift I ever gave myself. If you feel that same whisper, listen to it. Fear is normal, but on the other side is an incredible experience. The world is waiting for you. Your adventure doesn't have to be grand. It can be a weekend trip or a new city. What matters is the intention to step outside your comfort zone. The first step is the hardest, but it's the most important. Don't wait for the perfect time. Life is happening now. You are stronger and more capable than you think. Everything you need is already inside you. Take the step, book the ticket, pack the bag. The journey will be challenging, but also beautiful and transformative. It will teach you about the world and yourself. Your journey is waiting. It's your turn to fly. This story is just one chapter in a much larger book. My journey didn't end when I came home. It was just the beginning. The world is vast, and there are still so many stories to uncover. I hope you'll come along with me. Every video and story is an invitation to see the world through my eyes, and yours. If my story sparked even a tiny flame of wanderlust, my work is done. Let's keep exploring together. Thank you for being here. Let's go travel the world.